Hi, everyone. I am Karen Robinson. I am a trauma recovery expert and a mental health therapist. And today I have my good friend, Scott Holmes. Scott, tell the world what you do.
What do? I deal with professional men and women to help them find who they are at their very core. We strip away everything that has been learned all these years to get them back to who they truly are. And
So beautiful.
in doing this work, Karen has allowed me to see so many other aspects of what people have gone through trauma and the work that she has done.
Thank you. And what Scott does so beautifully, he does a lot of energy healing. We all know that stress, trauma, adverse events that happen to us keep energy stuck in our body. And Scott is a beautiful person to help us move that energy in and out of our body when it's not serving us. But Scott, we are here to promote your book launch, and you are looking for advanced readers. So tell us a little bit about why you chose the topic from burnout to burning bright.
So I'm sitting on the balcony at Cape Cod last August and was speaking with our friend Laura, who is our book publisher. And she said, "You need to lead a book." And I'm like, I'm really not sure about that. But what kept coming up was burnout. The past two conversations with friends I had, they were feeling so burnt out in this world where everything is shifting so quickly, whether it's governments or countries or travel or food pricing or the price of oil, everything keeps shifting and we're not sure how to make decisions because the ground underneath us is shifting constantly. And this fell from burnout to burning out, fell on the page while I was talking to her and I wrote it and it stuck. I don't know where it came from. It was from above, from my guides. And it's really been that that point of where people can transition from being burnt out, from being that sense of overwhelm, that sense of dread, that sense of I can't get out of this box, to being the healing, the brighter part of themselves, finding that piece of themselves where they can step forward now. And that's what it's really all about. And you thankfully said yes to this book and are one of 24 other authors that have written some really tough aspects of their journey. Every time I write in a chapter in a collaborative book, it's been cathartic. It has always helped me to heal, to step forward in whatever way that I'm writing about. And a lot of the authors said the same thing, that this was one of the toughest pieces that they've written because I was asking them, please relate what was one of the hardest parts of your life. Please relate that. And by the way, we're going to share this with the world. No big deal, but we're going to share this with the entire world while you're doing it. But it's those true stories of vulnerability being told, and then how to get out of it, how to make those small micro steps. When we're in trauma, when we're in that feeling of just overwhelm, when we don't feel like we have even a minute to ourselves during the course of the day, taking that couple of minutes just for yourself to be able to change perspective. And I always say that we get 365 clicks, right? And you can change your perspective 360 degrees by just that one click every day. If we do those things, use those tools that are being taught. And so there are 25 examples of tools that can be used for people to incorporate into their day to be able to come out of it, to restore themselves to shining brightly.
Beautiful. So I have to do a little confession here. I was annoyed at you.
I know you were. I know you were.
You could sense it.
I knew that.
I was like, oh, I have a lot to say about burnout from a professional perspective, right? And then when you really pushed me to go more personal, and I was like, damn it, I don't have time for this.
I
And it
know,
ended
I
up,
know.
I knew too that I was being avoided, but I really didn't realize what it brought up for me to write about my own personal experience with burnout. And what came up for me is, when shit hits the fan everywhere in my life, I've always been an amazing therapist. I've always shown up for my people. There's very little times over the course of my life where I have taken a break from therapy. I'm either having surgery or somebody passes away, and I force myself to take that break because I know I want to show up for my clients fully. So I force myself to break. But otherwise, no matter what happens, I keep trucking. And so it was very vulnerable to, because it was like my work is so much of my identity. And a lot of people say that's a problem. Your work shouldn't be your identity. But I love that my work is my identity because I feel like God made me to be a healer, a social worker, a therapist, an expert in my field. So I did not appreciate picking at that boo-boo.
Yeah, it's tough. Picking at that scar is very tough.
Afterwards, I could see the value and I could see the improvement of my chapter. And I just want to say the name of my chapter for those who are watching this and know me well. My chapter is From Burnout to Belonging, a healing method for building healthy relationships. So I did tell my story of burnout, and I'm not going to share it now because you have to buy the book or sign up to be an advanced reader to learn more about that. Scott, what did writing your chapter bring up for you? Or did you want to say something about that first? Sorry.
The advanced readers, all the way up to the day, May 19th, to be an advanced reader. And we'll have it in there how to sign up for it. But it's important. You get a chance to read a book before it ever comes out. How many times we get that chance, right? And on top of that, you leave a review on the day of publication, which is May 19th. And that's how I started my writing career, was through being an advanced reader. I actually got to be an advanced reader on one of Laura's first books, and I sent it to her. And you know what she did? She put me on the back cover.
I know.
Me, who I had never written a thing. I had never written anything that had been published. She put me on the back, my review on the back cover. And I was so proud that somebody would actually take my words and want to put them out there for people to see. And that's how my writing started. Right after that, I went to Sacred Death, which Hamali Vora was coming out. She got a lot of feedback, by the way, on Sacred Death. Oh, well, you shouldn't use that as a title. That's terrible. No, it was. It was wonderful, and it allowed me to tell my story. And part of my story here was that same point in my life. Now, from a different perspective. At that point in my life, when I was writing it for Hamali and writing that chapter, I couldn't tell that story without breaking down. I couldn't fully tell the story of my daughter and my wife fully. I just couldn't do it. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to frame it. I didn't know what words to use. And in writing that chapter, I was able to tell the story. In this Burnout, From Burnout to Burning Bright, I told the story of what happened, what truly happened to me through the course of that, how I broke down, how I just snapped. Didn't know how to handle anything more. And it was that most vulnerable time when I didn't know what was happening on a day-to-day basis. I was afraid. My family was afraid for me because I didn't know what was happening, how I would be able to handle everything. And I was able to really review it. And you talk about picking at the scab, right? I thought I had dealt with that. When you bring it up, when you bring those personal parts of you and those lowest points of your life, when you bring that up, man, you have to really look at it in a different way. And I'm glad I get to look at it from this perspective now, because once you move past it, you can look at it almost non-judgmental. You did the best you could when you were in that position. And we all do that, right? And hindsight is always 2020. Oh, I should have made this decision, or I should have done this, or I should have done that. Yes, but remember, you are making those decisions in the best possible way in that moment for yourself, for your family, for the people you loved, with the tools you had at the time. Now, experience, and I know how far and how long you've done this and how much work you've done. You have amazing tools that you use all the time now, and it changes how we react and act with the people around us, how we see ourselves. And that's what this book, I think, really allows people to see, is that no matter where you are, burnout and that sense of overwhelm can be conquered. And a few of the stories, by the way, they talk about burnout being a friend. And I and when they talked to me, when they first told me about that, I was like, excuse me, not the one I know. But they talk about it as being that warning. Hey, you're
Yeah.
doing too much. Hey, you've let too many people go past your boundaries. Hey, you're not taking care of yourself. Hey, you're not looking
Good
life in
point.
the right way. When I was in that survival mode, I couldn't really tell you what I was grateful for. I was grateful to get through the day, but that was about it. Because the next day was going to be just as hard. And so it's all of those aspects, all those gifts that this book brings to people so that they can see where they are, that burnout doesn't have to be a finality. It's not going to last forever, and that you can get on the other side of it. There are 25 stories of people who've gone through it and are on the other side. And to be able to find joy again. And for me, that was probably the biggest aspect, is being able to get on the other side and find what brings joy. We forget when we're in survival mode that joy is a part of life that we really need to expand on. We have to be curious about. We have to show that part of ourselves to ourselves, allow that in. And when we do, man, life is good. And I know that you have been able to bring in changing careers and doing what you do, been able to fill your bucket list with things that bring you joy. Doing the summits brings you joy. I know how much work that is. That is amazing. I've been a part of that. And it that ripple effect of the number of people that you touch through that, through all your speakers, through all the aspects of that day. It's amazing how many people you've been able to touch in doing the work you do. I commend you for it. I have just incredible respect for everything that you've done and that you do in doing the work that you do and showing that. And that's why when I asked, I was so glad that you were able to do this chapter and do it as beautifully as you have.
Thank you. And I appreciate you're so generous with your time, energy, and your kind words. But I want this to be about you.
And
And
it
I
is,
want to
and it
say,
is, it is,
okay,
honestly.
but this book project has been a labor of love, and you've been working for months to get advanced readers, and you put your heart, soul, energy, money, everything into this project. And I just want to encourage people really consider purchasing this book because I don't know too many people that have escaped burnout. And if you have, good on you, but I'm sure you know somebody who could really benefit from the wisdom. There's a lot of people in this book who are healers and they have these unique gifts to offer, these shifts in perspective, these miracles that could help you or someone that you care about. So I really want to encourage people to either join the advanced reader team or on May 19th to go ahead and purchase this book. You will not regret it for sure, because I've read a lot of it so far. I haven't finished it, and it's really powerful.
We have we
Final
have
word,
five
Scott.
we have five doctors in here of different modalities, of different things that they have done. We have so many different aspects of this going forward. And there will be something that touches each and every person that reads the book. They're going to be able to relate to somebody. There'll be a line that you remember, There'll be a line that you put on a Post-it note, put on your mirror, or there'll be a story that you'll be able to tell other people that'll hit home. And that's what this is all about, is just incredibly powerful stories.
Thank you, Scott, for your time today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, Karen.